Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie, and welcome back to Secondhand Sickness. So back at the car boot sale, the weather forecast is cloudy, fairly big chance of rain, but so far it's looking pretty good. And yeah, I don't really need to introduce this, so let's just go. Well, that was pointless. I didn't find a single thing, which also means that this video won't be published, so I don't even know why I'm shooting this. So at this point you might really be wondering why the hell this is actually uploaded. Well, the thing is that you have to remember that even if I go to these things every Saturday, it's not actually like I find stuff every time, and I just wanted to make sort of point to that, because for the most part during this summer I have actually found stuff every single time, but there's been a couple times where I've only found one item or maybe no items at all, and so this was one of those days. And seeing as I already shot some footage from the day, I thought we might actually conclude this video by showing you some online VHS finds that I made recently. So for starters, I wanted to show you a copy of Aliens, and this is a very early rental version from Sweden. The thing is that this is quite a collectible release. I got this for, let's see what it was. I think I paid 230 Swedish crowns including the shipping. That is essentially 23 euro. This was definitely worth that until I realized that it doesn't actually have the proper tape in it. So the thing is that there is essentially two releases of Aliens on rental tape in Sweden at this point in time. And so this is the media transfer copy, which I believe is more collectible than this version. However, this is the SF version, which in its own is also collectible. So, I mean, I realized this fairly quickly when I got it, but the seller was very upfront about sending me pics of the tape and the, cover and everything. So, I mean, if I had paid attention, I would have known that the cassette and the cover were a mismatch. And quite honestly, I don't really care. It's so rare to see any version of this movie on rental tape. So regardless of which, 23 euro, even if it's a mix and match release, I think it's actually worth that money. So this outer cover is from a release that came out in 1993, as far as I understand. So this is a later era rental tape, whereas the original media transfer one, I'm not entirely sure what year this came out, but I'm pretty sure this is a earlier release. And so generally I would just say that if I find a insert for this tape, or if I find the tape for the outer one, so I get a complete version, either of those versions would probably be worth something like 60 or 70 euro. Or even more potentially. So, I mean, I'm happy with this. It's a nice sort of shelf display piece, and it's a mix and match copies, which I don't own either of them. So I was happy with this either way. It's gonna look good on the shelf for sure. So next up, I want to show you a tape which is very different. And this is something that my friend Stefan picked up for me. I forget where he found this. I think it was like a yard sale or whatever. And I can't even tell where this is from. I think this might be an Israeli tape, but I have no clue what it is. It says Dig Dig Doog. Yeah, and then you lost me. I assume this is some sort of kids tape, because looking at the back, it really looks like sort of kids playtime story, whatever. I don't know. There's a pink bunny. There's some odd photos of various people. Oh, and here it actually says, New Hebrew Songs for Children by Israel's hit songwriter Nurit Hirsch. So, yeah, maybe this is some sort of musical release. I haven't got a clue, but I thought the case looked kind of funky. And the tape is really interesting. So here we got a bright yellow tape with a black clasp on it. So yeah, really don't see a lot of that combo on officially released tapes. So I essentially just asked him to pick this up because I thought the tape looked cool, and I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll do a spool swap, maybe I'll record a reaction video. I don't even know what this is. I just thought it was really weird, and it was really cheap. So I don't even know what I paid or what he paid for this, but I doubt it was more than like €1, if even that. So yeah, quite an odd tape indeed, but definitely worth the whatever it was that he paid, even if it's just a curiosity. So I'm gonna just stack these up for now, because now we have a few more boxes which I want to show you. And these next two are actually UK imports, and I want to give a shout out to my friend DVD Mike 007, whom you probably heard about on this channel before. Long time subscriber, and you know, he's been around for ages, so really good friend of mine. He was very kind enough to help me ship these UK import special edition boxes, and the first one is something that I've been on the hunt for a number of years, and it is the limited edition of 12 Monkeys. Now, there are a couple different versions of 12 Monkeys on videotape, but this was the specific one which I wanted to get, which is a limited edition that comes in this specifically designed double clamshell. And it's not just like a generic clamshell, it actually has these custom prints on it. Or well, I think this might actually be, yeah, it is actually a sticker, but I still really like the fact that they went a bit further than your average case on this. So yeah, here we got the cover. This is also a sticker. Haven't really been wanting to peel that off, and it's a bit worn here and there, but this is essentially a 2 tape, obviously, since it's a double case, but it contains the film, and it also contains the making of, which is obviously the Hamster Factor. And this is something that's available on most DVD and Blu-ray editions today. But even so, I thought this was a really cool release, and it even has the red tapes in it. Now, I don't really know as to how limited this is, but you can see that it has the red stickers on here, and it actually has a limited edition number. So this is number 1634, but I don't see any mention of how many copies were made, so no clue about that. But I really do like this design, and the tapes themselves are actually quite interesting, because if you look closely, they are actually a little bit sort of semi-transparent. So usually when I see red tapes, it feels like they don't really look like this. They usually have a much more sort of consistent or not see-through color, whereas this, you can sort of almost see the shape of the tape or the outline within here, just looking through it. So kind of an odd color for this tape, I gotta say. But yeah, absolutely loving this. And the tapes are obviously very similar. You do have a odd sort of reflective little sticker here in the middle, which I'm not sure if we can make out the effect on that, but it's essentially a image of the monkey logo. I don't know how that's coming off, because it's very hard for me to see at this angle, but hopefully you can sort of make out what that looks like. So yeah, I think this is a very interesting and cool looking release, definitely different in terms of the design, so that's very nice. And so the case itself, nothing too special. I mean, this essentially has, is this even an insert? Now I'm a bit confused here. Wow, I had no idea, but I don't think this is actually an insert. That is really weird. How have I never noticed that? How can this be? Wow, okay. So I thought this was an insert, but it actually appears to be a sticker, which is essentially glued onto the front cover. If you look closely on this, you might be able to tell that this is like, if I do this, there's no plastic on this. This is so weird. How have I never noticed? Huh. Well, so that definitely makes this case a very interesting case. And yeah, super happy about getting this. Big shout out to DVD Mike 007, who was a very kind friend to help me pick this up finally. And he also helped me with the next release I want to show you, which is something that I hardly knew about and something that I only discovered recently. I'm really happy to be able to add this to the VHS collection. And it is a limited edition copy of Darren Aronofsky's Pi. Now, Pi is a movie which is absolutely awesome. If you haven't seen it, it is just a groundbreaking piece of cinema. Darren Aronofsky went on to direct Requiem for a Dream, which I suppose is one of his more famed features, and he's done a bunch of stuff after that. But this was the film that he made before Requiem for a Dream. This is essentially his directorial or feature-length debut, and it's just a black and white, really sort of almost cyberpunk type movie. It's just a really interesting sort of indie experimental thriller, a lot of cool music, scoring by Clint Mansell. And yeah, but I'm rambling about this film. If you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out, because it is just a really awesome movie. But regardless of which, this is also a really awesome box. I don't know much about this, but it is from that typical era in the UK when they were releasing a lot of special edition or collector's box sets in this sort of typical hard sort of cardboard case. And I don't know, it's one of those things which I always really loved, because it has this really unique, glossy and very sturdy cardboard case, which if you've seen it before, you certainly recognize. It's just the way they sort of glue the cover and sort of make these little paper inserts to hold the tapes. Like, it's very specific for the times. And now it's a bit ironic that I don't actually know when this particular release came out. I don't know if you can see that on the cover. It says copyright 1999, but that is obviously for the film. So yeah, it says copyright, packaging copyright 99. So this came out 1999 as well. And there's not much to say about it. It has a standard VHS cassette in it, nothing too special. And then we have this rigid and very nice case, which has surprisingly thick cardboard for the insert. Usually these will be really flimsy, but this one is actually quite a sturdy piece of cardboard. So that is very appreciated, because a lot of the time these cases will be brittle and they will essentially break in on themselves while shipping. Now, another thing that was in this box, which is really odd, is this little paper card, which essentially says Pi Music for the Motion Picture. Sorry about that. My camera essentially just died because I didn't have enough space on the memory to record new videos. So yeah, I had to delete some videos, but now I'm back. So what I was saying is that I don't really know what this is. Like, it's essentially just a piece of paper which lists the tracks from the soundtracks. I mean, I would assume there would be, like, I suppose downloading link is too modern because this is back in 99, so that hadn't really caught on, I assume. But yeah, I mean, just look at it. This is essentially just a listing of the tracks that are on the soundtrack. So it just says here, now available from all good record shops or directly from Silver Screen Records, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I don't know who came up with the idea to include this. I mean, it's nicely designed, but also feels completely pointless, to be honest. And that is pretty much all that's in the box. But like I said, very nice, glossy, sturdy looking box. It is numbered, so this is number 91. As far as the total limitation of this, I haven't got a clue. If anybody knows, feel free to comment. But this was released by Pathé, so there's also a bit of a serial number. I really don't see a lot of this. This is one of those releases which I've only seen on eBay once or twice. No idea how unusual it actually is, but I definitely knew that it was a release which I wanted to own because it's a great movie. I actually love it, and it's a film which doesn't really have a whole lot of collector's edition to it. I know there's been some new versions now on Blu-ray which are collectible, but going back historically, like on DVD and whatnot, like there isn't really too much interesting stuff out there. So when I saw this, I felt like that is definitely a version I want to add, just because there's not so much out there. But this is essentially all of the finds that I want to show you today. I know they aren't classic and sort of typical car boot sale finds. I had to improvise a bit today and actually show you some online finds, but hopefully you think this is okay, because I definitely thought that these were some really interesting pickups. And so we got the Bizarro tape, which I don't really know what it is. Dig Dig Doog. Then we got the Aliens tape, and then we got 12 Monkeys, and then we got Pi. As far as pricing, this was really cheap. This was 23 euro. These two ended up being fairly expensive because I had to like pay import fees and shipping and whatnot. So I don't really know what I paid, maybe like between 30 and 40 euro per box, which is a bit excessive, but at the same time I really wanted to get them, and they're sort of unusual. And what are you gonna do? I mean, it's the UK, so you're pretty much forced to pay import fees a lot of the time, and shipping is not always the best. But I'm still super happy that I got them. So once again, super big thank you to DVD Mike. And thank you to you for watching this video. So let me know what you think about this. And that's it. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. And as usual, hope to see you all next time.